Yes, friends, welcome. Lunar eclipse yesterday night from 1:06 to 2:25, 2:22. They all have connection to the whole universe, Bhumi, and all beings. Our elders have told, so we respect and we value it. Whatever we can do that day. Some anusthana at that time. We have exhaustively seen in our Bhagavatam how on that Surya Uparaga, Surya Grahana, everyone from the whole country assembled in Kurukshetra, Samanta Panchaka Kshetra it is called, and how they did all upasanas, yajnas, pujas, japa, dana ityadi. So too, whenever such occasions come, our elders have told, do some sadhana karma, punya karma. Good. Now we are into the relentless study of Upanishad without giving up, which invokes the kind grace of Shruti Mata and the Lord and Guru when we also pray to them along with our efforts. Their grace will slowly take us deep inside. But along with that, we have to be careful in doing Karma Yoga Adi to exhaust our impediments, obstructions. We have to do our own Japadi sadhana to bring our antakarana to the qualified stage of Tattva revelation. While doing so, we have to be doubly careful about one thing, which is more difficult than any of these. It is not allowing new impediments to be created. The impediments of adding of Rajo, Tamo, Guna and Vasanas happen whenever we become inadvertent and forget Bhagwan as the goal and something else when we choose as the goal. Even for some time और कहीं पे दृष्टि गई that ego oriented upadhi identified involvement in anything creates those impediments of instigating rajas tamas in us, which again disqualifies us for the grace of the divine for the deeper study, understanding, remembering the knowledge, practicing it, whatever outside to be done, and the inner practice of the deep meditation, whether you call it as trying to discover that which is beyond the three dehas or panchakosha, or trying to maintain the sakshi bhava, or trying to reject all the anatma perceived things, perceived anatma to reach the atma. For all these to be done continuously, relentlessly, that Shuddha Sattva Guna which is required is not allowed to be maintained if we, even for slight movement, take anything as the goal. Therefore, any other thing other than sadhana, the samsaric thing, as the means or practice. Tarmeva sharanangacha sarvabhavena or sarvadharman paritijya मामेकम शरणम व्रजा और वरस्तु मे वरणीय स एवः. In all our Gita Upanishads, the quality of the greatest disciple at its highest level is this alone. In every of the Upanishads, disciples are of the highest cadre. Thus, they are blessed by the teacher with the teachings, blessed by the teacher with the techniques, blessed by the teacher with his own tapasya also. Otherwise, a non-qualified, nalayak disciple के लिए if the guru uses his tapashakti, it becomes wasted. Therefore, gurus wait till we become qualified. The qualification is other than Paramatma Anubhuti, I want nothing in the universe. Even if it is given, I am not going to take it, involve in it. That capacity of single pointedness, that qualification, when they see, then they give guidance, direction, knowledge. They also give the anugraha with their tapo shakti to such jignasus, sadhakas, seekers, disciples, that entry into the deeper chambers of the inner personality through dhyana to cross one by one layers of anatma and the reaching the atma is possible. So may we all knowing these things very very clearly be on the path continuously and always mind this thing of sangha. We'll have only the Sata Sangha, the Shastra Sangha, the Bhagavad Sangha, the Guru Sangha. In the heat of all these Sangha, all vasanas and ignorances which force us to be in that Dusa Sangha, they should be burnt away. They should be eliminated. This is what is said in Yoga Darshanam again and again as burning away of the samskara or the seeds. Bharjita Bijavat, it is called in Vedanta. In that heat of wanting to experience Atmavastu, in that greatest surrender of Ishvara Pranidhana, we have to see that the seeds are roasted, they are not germinating any the rasa in us, creating that desire for going for anything other than Paramatma. Anything other than Paramatma is Maya, Mithya, unreal. And yet, because we give it value and reality, it appears to be real. What makes us value it, give reality is are these two. One is that avidya, ignorance. Second is the vasanas. Hmm. Avidya eliminated by Atma Vidya, that it is of this nature and one without second. Vasanas are eliminated by keeping away. That's it. Be in touch with the world, never vasanas go away. Withdraw, then vasanas go away. Withdrawing from the world, being in touch with the world has nothing to do with our involvement in the world. World involvement with upadhis as per our dharma and duty can never go away. It will always be there. But when we do it, the doing is done only for doing sake, further no any expectation want is sought, then there is no vasana creation. What I want is bliss. Bliss is in my own self. I am in the search of my own self inside me through my adhyatmika sadhanas. Full stop. Other than this, with the world, I have no relation of expecting any sukha bhoga from the world. Because the world is mithya, on the name of giving sukha bhoga, it only creates more and more vasanas, thickens the avidya, totally takes me away from the self. I know that. Just like at the gross level, keep on acting, you will remain as active, dynamic. for any reason, excuse, justification, when we stop acting physically at whatever the age, slowly we start becoming lazy, lethargic. All the atrophy happens of the faculties. और उसके बाद किसी को ब्लेम करके कोई फायदा नहीं. दैट इज वाई कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजी विषेद शतकम समाह. कर्म करते हुए भी 100 साल जीने का इच्छा रखना. Otherwise, we become lazy, impotent, and all every disease will attack you. Mind will get frustrated because when you are not working, you won't get the things or desires fulfilled. When you are not working, people won't love you, they leave you and go. अब ये सब कॉन्सिक्वेंस, बट ये एग्जाम्पल हमने उस पॉइंट के लिए दिया कि वर्ल्ड अप्रोच विथ रियलिटी एंड वैल्यू expectation, vasanas become stronger. Live in the world, but not for anything. Whatever I want is the bliss, the liberation that is in the anubhuti of the Swa-Atma. For that, the marga is adhyatmika. I am involved in it. I know that I am conscious. In this way, every day, all the time, we have to be in this sort of contemplation, understanding, practice. In the initial days, everything looks like childish. कोई बात समझ में नहीं आता है, आया भी तो अधूरा होता है. We try to do any of this sadhana, कोई पकड़ ही नहीं मिलता उस साधना का. Everyone will have to go through it. But the kind Lord, the Guru, Shruti Mata are there. When they see we are so serious, sincere in our regular attempts, some jadoo will happen, some miracle will happen, some mystery will happen. This is called as the divine grace. And just like the mother does all the things required for the children. It's a jadoo and mystery to them. But there is someone behind him who is doing all this. In the same way, behind the whole universe, behind every true, serious, sincere seeker, there is a divinity which has its own mystical way of doing the things. They are all unfathomable. When who is blessed in what way can't be known. But then, knowing that the blessings are there, they are required, keep on invoking. Then it clicks. The conscious invocation is through upasana prayers. Another invocation is doing the sadhanas with the best of our abilities itself is an invocation. Like ask for salary promotion, bonus, you may be given. Don't ask, you do your job thoroughly, properly. Seeing our worth, definitely they go the bonus and increment. In the same way, there is the divinity in whose awareness all jivas are there. Jivas, when knowingly or unknowingly negligent about spirituality and are interested only in the worldliness, that divine, aware but doesn't contribute or bless in spiritual way. But the divinity which is aware finds that yes, we are sweating, panting for spirituality, then they become sensitive and they start giving that support required. Holding on to that support, we have to keep on moving. Like for you and I, the support of Upanishadic Adhyanam, भागवत रामायण आदि शास्त्र अध्ययनम we got. हो छोड़ो मत इसको, इसी में हमारा कल्याण है. पढ़ते जाए, थोड़ा मनन चिंतन ऐड करते जाए, थोड़ा सा ध्यान करते जाए. Manana Chintana is the contemplation on the meaning of this Upanishadic mantra. Dhyana is becoming conscious and consciously putting the effort of rejecting the anatma tadatmya and feeling the atma tadatmya. व्यतिरेक और अन्वय इसी को ध्यान कहते हैं. ध्यान में ध्यान से यही करना होता है जो समझ चुके हैं थ्रू मनन निधि ध्यासन. मनन जो सुन चुके हैं तो श्रवण. श्रवण से सुना हुआ, मनन से समझा हुआ चीज को अनुभव करने के लिए अन्वय व्यतिरेक करना ही द ध्यान साधना. एट द हाइट ऑफ दैट whole anatma gets rejected as the result of Aitareya, and so much of anvaya is done that aham brahmasmi, that anubhuti starts happening. So may we know all these things, may we not forget them, may we not get lost in the world and worldly happenings and remain at a non-sadhana level. No, there should be more and more inspiration, enthusiasm, readiness, increased involvement and efforts in our said sadhanas and dhyana abhyas. May Lord bless all of us. Continuing our Aitareya Upanishad Adhyanam, the third khanda, the mantras from 12-13, where Paramatma's entry into that pinda which is created is spoken, discussed. Okay, there today's discussion is for what reason he enters the human body. That will be told. And how he enters also, we will see. And in this very khanda, having entered, sufficient time enchanted by the whole setup, of course made by him only, he gets caught up and lives for a long time as a jiva and suffers. One day when the suffering becomes unbearable, thinking becomes at the acute level, then he reverts back, retraces back, and the cause of samsara, the identity of others, he rejects that identity. दृष्टु दृश्य संयोग जो हेय है उसको हेय कर दे, हानम कर देना. Through the sampragnata samadhi etc. in yoga darshanam, by remaining in the absolute drashta bhava, sakshi bhava in the Vedanta darshanam. Then he, the Lord who playing the role as a jiva, lost as a jiva, regains back his stature that I am that Brahman. All that is touched in this third chapter, little elaborately told in the second and third khanda. Let us try to see little bit today. Om. 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 Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Vyasaya Vishnurubhaya Vyasarubhaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutrabhashakruta Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah. Om Shrutismati Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Om Guru Pungava Pungava Ketanate Samataamayatam Nahi Kopi Sudhihi Sharanagata Vatsala Tattvanidhe Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dandvataitam Gagana Sadusham Tattvamasya Adilaksham एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधि साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः। तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरणविश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगति विश्वशान्तिकल्याण एकता पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्मसंस्थापनकार्ये निश्चित अस्माकं सह समस्तभक्तसाधकानां आयुरारोग्यक्षेमस्थैर्यादि सत्संपदा साधना सानुकूल्यता शक्तिप्राप्ति बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः पारायणमध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम मनस्तापतमशान्त्यै यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुरिवा भाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ओम अथ श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेयोपनिषद प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ओम वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य मणिस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासेः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। चैंट फ्रॉम मंत्र 10वां से लेकर 2 मिनट लगेगा। तदपानेनाजिघृक्षत तदावयत सा एषः अन्नस्य ग्रहः यद्वायुः अन्नायुर्वा एष यद्वायुः सईक्षत कथं नु इदं मत्रुते स्यादिति सईक्षत कतरेण प्रपद्या इति सईक्षत यदि वाचाभिव्याहृतं यदि प्राणेनाभिप्राणितं यदि चक्षुषा दृष्टं यदि श्रोत्रेण श्रुतं यदि त्वचा स्पृष्टं यदि मनसा ध्यातं यदि अपानेनाभ्यपानितं यदि शिश्नेन विसृष्टम् अथ कोऽहमिति स एतमेव सीमानं विधार्य एतया द्वारा प्रापद्यत सा एषा विधृतिर्नाम द्वाः तदेतन्नान्दनन्तस्य त्रय आवसथाः त्रयः स्वप्नाः अयमावसथोऽयमावसथोऽयमावसथ इति स जातो भूतानि अभिव्यैख्यतो किमिहान्यं वावदिशदिति स एतमेव पुरुषं ब्रह्म तत मम पश्यतु इदमदर्शमिति तस्मादिदन्द्रो नामेदन्द्रो ह वै नाम तमिदन्द्रं सन्तम् इन्द्र इति आचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Friends, beautiful is this chapter, entire Upanishad, especially this third khanda of the Prathamodhyaya. These mantras we are seeing about the up to the Annagrahana we have understood. None of the faculties with their own abilities could consume the food. They could not, but they need the food and energy. So the directly they cannot take the food in that way. The mouth cannot take the food by taking the name of it. Ears cannot by listening to the food. Nose cannot by smelling. The skin cannot by touching the food. Indriyas I am mentioning means Indriya Adhisthana Devatas. None of them could be able to receive the food. Then who took the food inside is Apane Ajigrukshatu. Then, therefore, Tadavayatu. It is taken by the Apanavayu, again, of course, with the help of the Pranavayu. So, what we have to understand is simply this: if only Parabrahman is there, Srushti is not there, nothing to talk, just be in that experience. If at all you are seeing the Srushti, accepting it even for Vyavahara, then understand that the prakriya of the Srushti is like this, as it is said in the first and second khandas exhaustively. And in that, whatever now being told, the relativity between the upadhis is like that only. And all of that is vision, ikshana of Paramatma. Without him, none of these things can happen. That Paramatma is experienced when all these are rejected. But before rejecting all these, to prove Paramatma is existing, all these are tentatively accepted as if they are there, but then told that these are all from Paramatma only. So, to introduce the unknown Paramatma, unknown right now, for us, though he is my own self, to introduce him to us, the acceptance of the Srishti, and then he, as a Srishti Karta, is introduced to us. Actually, there is no Srishti, no Srishti Karta. Only Parabrahman is there. And whatever we see experiences, all not reality, it is an appearance like a TV or movie or the dream, not real. TV, movie, dream are seen but not real. Experienced but not real. Yesterday we saw in the Ramayana class exhaustively. So this is how the Srishti is there. Accept they are all as it is said. Abide whatever is told at whatever place. That helps in the spiritual unfoldment. So Anna is taken by the Vayu. Therefore, this Vayu, the Apana Vayu along with Prana is Anna Ayu. Is the consumer of Anna and giver of Ayu to the whole Karya Karana Sanghata. Karya is Stula Sharira, Karana are all the 14 faculties, the Adhisthana Devatas as well as Indriyas. Indriyon ko bhi खुराक शक्ति चाहिए. इंद्रिय अधिष्ठान देवताओं को भी खुराक चाहिए. शरीर के सस्टेनेंस के लिए भी खुराक चाहिए. All these three, through the food consumed by Apana, they are reached. Then yesterday toward the end we understood therefore importance of Pranamaya Kosha, importance of maintaining Pranamaya Kosha properly, maintaining it by proper diet, not less, not more, Yukta Ahara Viharasya. We have to maintain the Karyakarana Sanghata in such a beautiful, perfect, healthy manner that we are able to do our inner Adhyatmika sadhana. This is the between the spiritual sadhana to do which the faculties are required, which needs the strength and energy that comes from the food. That is only when the pranas take the food. Pranapana Sanghata consumes the food, digests it, circulates it. Therefore, it is a knowledge given to us. It is an awareness created in us that this is how it happens, and we are told to accept it. And we are guided that all of these are happening in the supervision of the Paramatma, the one who is doing Ikshana continuously. See how many things have become very clear. And about all that, we have to maintain the awareness maximum. Spirituality means awareness. Awareness of non awareness, the Jada, to reject it. Awareness of awareness, to identify with it. Without being aware, we can never be spiritual seekers at all. Hmm. So up to the Annagrahanam Vishaya we have seen. Now comes the next one. Topic. From the 11वां श्लोक. कि Bhagavan, having created all this, he again started the Ikshana. Okay. Then see the beautiful way of teaching by this Upanishad. Amma. The three Ikshanas, the visions of Paramatma are: one is, how can this Sanghata be without me? Bhashyakara will explain in detail what is the meaning of it. We are going to study. Second Ikshanam is, in what way I should enter. And in the third vision is, third Ikshana of the Lord is, why should I enter? And entry करके मुझे करना क्या है? After these three Ikshanas, in the next shloka, he then finds the way to enter, and he enters to accomplish what he was visualizing before entry. These are the few things you have to grasp thoroughly and keep in mind, helps us on the dhyana sadhana abhyas. Okay. Further, the mantra was 11वां. पढ़ लो एक बार. सईक्षत कथम नु इदम मदरुते स्यात् इति सईक्षत कतरेण प्रपद्या इति सईक्षत यदि वाचाभिव्याहृतं यदि प्राणेन अभिप्राणितं यदि चक्षुषा दृष्टं यदि श्रोत्रेण श्रुतं यदि त्वचा स्पृष्टं यदि मनसा ध्यातं यदि अपानेन अभ्यपानितं यदि शिश्नेन विसृष्टम् अथ कोऽहम् इति. So first from the mantra, the simple meaning in half minute is ki saikshata. He visualized. Katham nu idam. How can this sanghata madrute syat be there without me? Okay, sir, आएगा मेरे बिना. What is the explanation? Bhashya पढ़े. Second, saikshata. So therefore, after the first question, the answer is, therefore I must be there inside it. Obviously, second question is, Sa ikshata katharena prabhadya. He just contemplated how I have to make the entry into this sanghata. दो बातें हो गई. Third one, sa ikshata again. यदि वाचा अभिव्याहृतम यदि प्राणेन अभिप्राणितम means what? All the adhisthana devatas with their respective indriyas are doing these things. Now, when they are doing, I cannot do the same thing. I need not do the same thing. I am not them. Then, if these faculties are working in this way, what should be my identity with myself when I enter? What should be my relation with all this when I enter? In that, the two things are what? All these things, none of them are done by me. And they are all doing all that by me, for me. And for me is what? Only to reveal me to myself. ऐसा बनकर मुझे शरीर में रहना है. This is the meaning of यदि वाचा इत्यादि इत्यादि करके, if the indriyas and indriya adhisthana devatas are doing their own faculties, their own perceptions, then kohamiti, then when they, what should I do? Should I disturb them? Or should I get disturbed by them? If not, then in what way my entry should be there? क्या मैं बनकर वहां रहूं? क्या मेरा ताल्लुकात रिश्ता इन सब के साथ होना चाहिए? It should be something special. And I am the creator of all that. It should not bind me. शुरू में ऐसे ही होता है. Nobody wants to get bound in a marriage. They want to enjoy, which is a freedom. But then they get bound if they are not matured to manage everything. Nobody wants to get bound to the guru or bound to an office working. But if you cannot properly manage, you get bound. So Paramatma entered never to get bound, but just in the nature of the sequences or items, it is a power of binding, and we get bound to become the jiva. जहाँ जीव है वही परमात्मा, याद रखना. जीव का उपाधि तादाद ने छोड़ दी, ये अलोन इज परमात्मा. परमात्मा मजाक के वास्ते came to the level of upadhis, just caught up, became jiva, and that is what is you and I. So the mantra we chanted, we saw the literal meaning in which the four things are there. First thing, he has done the ikshana. Thought ki how can they be without me? Second, ikshana, how I enter. Third thing in this sloka is the explanation of the work of the each of the faculties. Therefore, fourth one is again ikshata. How who am I? Ko hamiti means in what way I have to enter. मैं कौन हूँ? जो ये सब अपने काम कर रहे हैं तो मैं कौन हूँ? मतलब उसमें एक तरह का शंकर भगवान will add some masala and all. He says ये बंदे लोग सब अपना अपना काम खुद ही कर रहे हैं, तो मेरा कहाँ वैल्यू है then? And how can I be without that value to be given to me? Then let me enter and instill my own value. Why this point? मेरा वैल्यू क्यों होना तो चाहिए, मेरा वैल्यू नहीं है तो कैसा? Why the Paramatma is thinking like that? He is thinking like that for you and I. That Paramatma has to be valued, not anything else, because he is the goal. When you reach him, that is the mukta sthiti ना. इसलिए वो अपना स्वयं का इम्पोर्टेंस के लिए एंटर कर रहा है. And it is a recognition in us, sadhana in us. Without Paramatma, these faculties can never work. And they're all working for him. And he is not working in any one of them, and he is beyond them. And by rejecting all of them, he is realized. It is sadhana for us, will be indicated later on. But in the creation explanation itself, the bondage is shown and sadhana also is shown. Mm. Entry of Paramatma. Now, just browse through beautiful Bhashyam, one word, one line. Saha, that Paramatma, I am explaining the Bhashyam, evam, in this way, Loka, Ambaha, Marichir Maramapaha, Lokapala, Agni Vayu, Varuna, Surya, Chandra, Ityadi, Sanghata, this Sthula Sharira or human body, Sthitim, the entry of all these devatas into the respective golakas of the Sharira, then Anna Nimittam Krutva, then for their sake having made the Anna, okay, all of this making or doing by the Lord is like what? An example. Pura Paura Tat Palayitru Sthiti Samam. So exactly, Pura, the town, that is Sharira. Paura are the Adhisthana Devatas. Huh? Paura. Huh. Paura is the Indriyas. Tat Palayitru are the Adhisthana Devatas. Then Sthiti Samam, the whole arrangements in the city for them to stay, including food, groceries, crops, everything. Sthiti Samam. Now that Pura Swami, be attentive. As he does the Ikshana, after making the Pura, then making the Purajana or Paura, then Pura Palaka, and the things required. Pura town, Pura Jana beings in the town, Pura Palaka, the variety of departmental heads. Then the required things called as Anna. Anna means the surviving things, living things. Hmm. Then it is common as a king makes the pura for the puras, paurasu, and also there are different purapalakas. There it is, here it is the Sharira, Indriyas, Adhisthana Devata, then the process of Anna consumption, etc. हो गया? Now, just like that Swami of the Pura Swami thinks. In the same way, Lord also did the Ikshanam. Ikshana is contemplation and thinking. What to do, vagara. So, he, Swami iva Ikshata, like that Raja of that Pura or Pura Swami, Ikshana kiya. Now listen carefully from here. What is his Ikshanam? What is his thinking of that Raja? And here the Paramatma, the thinking is Katham nu. First of all, he thought was how he was thought. How he thought. This is the meaning of Katham nu. क्या सोचा उन्होंने? Okay. Answer is कि केन प्रकारेण इति वितर्कयन्. Katham means in what way he thought? Shruti Mata is asking question. Herself is answering. What is that? He iti vitarkayan. The vitarkan he has done. In that vitarka, the question is idam madrute mam antarena puraswaminam. So this pura without me, the puraswami, it cannot exist. So idam madrute mam antarena puraswaminam. Same thing he repeats. Yat idam karyakarana sanghata karyam vakshamanam katham no khalu mam antarena syat. How can it be without me? For this thing a question will come. Why should be it for the Lord? All this pura, purajana, then all those pura palakas. Two reasons have to be understood. That will be explained further. Why the pura should be for Swami, cannot be independent. Then only he enters ना कि मेरे बिना इस ये कैसा चलेगा. अगर चल सकता होता तो एंट्री नहीं होता. किन कारणों से एंट्री करना जरूरत पड़ा. 2-3 things are explained here. We will see them. First कि यदि एक एक्सप्लेन करके बाकी सारा हमको समझने को कहते हैं. Reason very beautiful it is. कि यदि if at all vacha abhivyavrutam, the vani is speaking is going on with vani, the adhisthana devata agni activating the mouth and speech is going on. Up to this is very clear. Yadi vacha abhivyavrutam etc. Ityadi means यदि मनसा whatever in that mantra सारा जो इंद्रियों का कार्यकलाप दिया है. यदि चक्षुषा दृष्टम, यदि प्राणेन अभिप्राणितम, यदि श्रोत्रेण श्रुतम, यदि त्वचा स्पृष्टम, मनसा ध्यातम, अपानेन अभ्यपानितम, शिष्णेन विसृष्टम. इन सबको समझ लो. तो एवरी अधिष्ठान देवता थ्रू एवरी ऑफ द इंद्रिया डूइंग दैट इंद्रिय व्यापार है ना. कहते हैं कि यदि वाचा अभिव्यावृतम इत्यादि केवलम एवं वाग व्यवहारणादि, it's a vag vyavahara is going on. Because of Vani is there, Adhisthana Devata is there, tat nirarthakam. Tad nirarthakam bhavetu. Example is given. Very beautiful thing. What a beautiful comparison here to make us clearly understand. So here, each of the faculties' respective work becomes meaningless and nirarthakam. Like example is what? Ki example is Narayan Narayan. न कथंचन भवेद बलि स्तुत्यादिवत. So in that Pura, all the Puravasins, Purapalakas are going on giving the bali, going on doing the stuti. अरे किसके लिए? They just go on giving the bali and go on doing stuti. किसके लिए? कोई है ही नहीं. Will there be any meaning for that stuti done by them, bali done by them, given by them? Bali means arpana. Stuti is doing stuti. This stuti done by or the bali given by the entire Puras Palaka and Pura Palakas and Pura Vasina. Both of them is for the Puraswami. Na? That is why you see when the Raja is at station in the kingdom, all these Purajana and Purapalak are very active, dynamic. सुबह 4 बजे उठकर जाकर उनका जागरण वगैरह करते हैं. करते हैं कि नहीं? वंदे मागध जन वगैरह they do. Now that Raja is gone out of station, मानो मस्ती में सो जाते हैं वो लोग. They don't do it because it's nirarthakam. So try to catch this point. What it is? All the work of the faculties is not for them. It is for the Swami. For the Swami, for what? Not to pull the Swami to the Bhokta level, Jiva level, Samsari level. Then what? To make you and I become aware of Him as ourselves. Just like the presence of electricity discovered by putting on the switch when you see the light. है ना? हम तो ज़्यादातर लाइट चलाते हैं कोई ना कोई काम करने को. Suddenly one day uncle somebody father, बेटा बिजली है क्या देखो. What do you do? स्विच डालोगे और लाइट जला. हाँ पापा बिजली है. So at that point, light जलना is to tell the बिजली is there. In the same way, the vyapara of the all karana is to make us realize the presence of the somebody who is other than that, and that is me. This is what in Yoga Darshana we studied. Purushasya bhoga apavargartham drishyam. At the ignorance level, the drishyam is for the bhoga. At that time, all the faculties are influencing the Purusha and pulling him down to the Jiva level. But once he understands that what is the whole discussion here, all this nonsense, then withdraws himself from the identity with that drashya or the upadhi, then he recognizes himself to be the pure drashta, the apavarga कहते हैं उसको, moksha is over. तदर्थमेव दृश्यस्य आत्मा. What we saw in Yoga Darshanam is here. कि मद्रुते कथम स्यात्. Their functioning become nirarthaka like bali stuti that are done in a kingdom where there is no king. So यदि वाचा अभिव्याहृतम इत्यादि केवलमेव वाक् व्यवहरणादि तत् निरर्थकम न कथंचन भवेत बलिस्तुत्यादिवत्. The second word is important. Nirarthakam, meaningless. Therefore, न कथंचन भवेत. It will not happen. When the Raja is not there, Bali Stuti is meaningless. Therefore, when the Raja is not there, the Bali Stuti will not happen. Therefore, without me, their functioning is meaningless. Therefore, without me, their functioning is not possible. This is what the Ikshana has done. Okay? After saying so, then explanation of the example. Paura Vandyadivihi Prayujyamanam Swami Artham. Sat. You know, all the Pauras and Vandi Magada, whatever the Seva or the Vandana they do, all of that, Paura Vandyadvi Prayujamanam, Swami Artham Sat. It is for the sake of Swami. Tat Swaminam Antarena Asatyeva Swamini Tadvat. Without the Swami being there, they have none of these jobs to do. Therefore, they don't do. They do when Swami is there. I gave you the example of Puja Gurudev. When he is in that ashram, whole the existing acharyas there, the devotees, that committee, they become so active, dynamic. When he goes for camp, Dora, somewhere, yajna, they all just routine minimum for their survival, what is they do. Otherwise, the other activities, which पूज्य गुरुदेव के समक्ष में होता है सत्संग ऑर्गेनाइजिंग पर कुछ नहीं very silent as if there's nothing happening. Like in all of India, है ना, हम सब हिंदू जब फेस्टिवल आते हैं धूम धड़ाके से क्या क्या करते हैं. The moment the Navratri over, mother is forgotten. Shivratri is over, Shiva is forgotten. Janmashtami Ratra is over, Krishna is forgotten. Relax, we are like a bogie, we live, but not as sadhaka. Na? In the same way, they don't stay without Swami. They can't work at all because it is nirarthakam. I am repeatedly telling it for you to catch the point. Their work is nirarthaka if Swami is not there. Because for the sake of Swami only they work. When the Swami is not there, because it's nirarthaka, they don't even function. Therefore, they are functioning because of Swami, they are functioning for Swami. Thus, they are not functioning for themselves. This grasping is the Vairagya. When you catch this, then we become naturally Vairagya. The tongue is not tasting for itself, ears are not listening for themselves, for a Swami inside. And the two Swamis are there. One Jiva Swami, when all the perceptions are for the Bhoga. Then the Atma or Paramatma Swami is only to recognize his presence as the pure awareness. The first one is Samsari, the second one is the Mukta Purusha. First one is that second bird which is eating the pipala and going towards the higher bird. The second one is that Anashan Anyo Avichakashiti Vala bird in the Mundaka Upanishad. Dvasuparna Saija Sakaya Sabana Bruksham Parishasya Tayoranya Pippalam Swadhuvatti Anashnan Anyan Avichakashiti. Okay. Mm. Mm. Now comes two very, very beautiful paragraphs for us to quietly, slowly, deeply study and understand. So, for the sake of Swami, they are working. When the Swami is not there, their work is nirarthaka. Because the nirarthakata, they don't work. Means they don't even exist. Puraka jaisa example hai. Here he is doing the ikshana. In that ikshana only, the knowledge is hidden. What is the knowledge here? It is a conscious Paramatma who manifested the whole world. Here the world is that human body, etc. and the entire Karyakarana Sanghata. Then it is they are working for him only. Third one, if he is not there, they have no existence at all. When they are no existence, where is the functioning? Therefore, in their existence, in their functioning, we should be able to see the presence of Paramatma. For that sake, they are given, not for the sake of forgetting Paramatma and getting lost in the delusory world. Fully engrossed in that delusory world, taking it as real so much with all our faculties that Paramatma is forgotten only for thousands of lives. See the fun, how we live life. Like the whole service period from the time of joining at the age of 25 up to retirement of 59. Every day he can be, corrupt. Every day he can be disloyal. Every day he can be a कामचोर. पूरा सर्विस पीरियड ऐसे ही किया, कोई काम ठीक ही नहीं की. 100 cases on him. There are people, many of them are, अगर पकड़ा जाए तो. In the same way, for many, many lives, we are in the delusory world of samsara for no reason, just ignorance only. ये जो उब जाते हैं फिर एक दिन पूछते हैं how to get moksha, so we are told this one. Recognize yourself to be the self. For your sake they are working, you are not slave for them. All that. Now, tasmat, now listen one by one. Tasmat maya parena swamina adhishtatra. By me, who is supreme, who is a swami, who is the actual final adhishtata of all these karya karana sanghata, and what I do staying there. Now this is the thing which we said, no, the third point, the discussion में रहकर परमात्मा इस संघात में क्या है उनका रोल. Very beautiful. First, Maya, by the Lord. Second is Parena, is other than all these faculties. Swamina, who is the Lord and Swami of all of them, for whose sake they are all working. So, Maya, Parena, Swamina, Adhishtatra. These four words have to be mastered. Paramatma, when he enters in this Sharira, entered is Maya. Even though he entered is Parena, he is not at all having any of these lakshanas of these upadhis. He is always Parena beyond them. कार्य करण संघात से पूरा हटकर है उनका नेचर. This is called Parena. Then Swamina, he is a Swami for whose sake all they are functioning. And when they are functioning for him, what is his role? Is he identifying them? No. Adhishtatra. So he is beyond them. For his sake, everything is happening. When it is happening, he is not involved in them. He is only the adhishtata के रूप में है. Supervisor. मया अध्यक्षेण प्रकृति सूयते सचराचरम. He is not involved. He is beyond them. Parena. For his sake, they are all happening. And he is not identified with them. अधिष्ठान के रूप में हो. So, maya parena swamina adhishtatra. By such me, what I do? Next one, fifth point. Maya is I am there. Parena, beyond them. Swamina, they are all doing for me. Adhishtatra, I am only this substratum supporting without involving any happening. That Swamina is explained further here. कि कृता अकृता be attentive. कर्म किया कृत हो गया. अकृता कुछ नहीं किया, जो धर्म करना था नहीं किया. पाप पुण्य करो या ना करो. कृता अकृता, whenever thing to be done, not done. Thing not to be done, done. Thing to be done, done. Not thing to be done, not done. For all those four things, there is phala. And to that phala, when it comes, be attentive. That phala bhokta is samsari. Then what is the role of the Lord? Sakshi bhutena. That Sakshi bhutena hone wala Paramatma, when he comes a step lower to identify with that phala, bhoktra. With such me, bhavitavyam puraseva rajna. Like of the Raja, by the Raja, the Pura, in the same way, I have to be in this Sharira like this. Okay. Bhoktavyam for the Lord is, we have already seen in our other Upanishads, Bhagwan ka darshan karna, becoming aware, itself is bhoga. In Yoga Darshanam, very clearly we have seen, what is the bhoga? The Purusha becoming aware of the drishya or the Prakriti itself is bhoga. बस वहीं रुकना चाहिए. The lower level of bhoga of indulgence, if we enter into, we lose our identity as a Purusha, we fall to the identity of the Jiva level and we suffer. So, what is Bhagavan here? Bhoktra, then Kruta Kruta Phala Sakshi Bhuta, then Adhishtata, then Swami, then Para. So, Paramatma like Upadrashta Anumanta Chaka Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara, Paramatma Iti Chapyukta, Dehesmin Purusha Para. What is said by the Lord there in 30th chapter? Exactly here we have seen. Same thing we are going to study in Yoga Darshanam. Luckily for us, in that the seven pranta bhumika of the prajna of the person who has realized the self. That is what again said by Bhagavan in the second chapter to the Arjuna's 6 questions of Sthita Prajnasya Ka Bhasha in the Sthita Prajna Lakshanas. So the Sthita Prajna Lakshanas of chapter 2, the Gunatraya Purusha of the chapter 14, in the 13th chapter, the how Paramatma is there in the Deha, and the 12th chapter, the Bhakta Lakshanas, what are told Adveshta Sarabhutanam, and what is said here by Bhashyakara about Paramatma's what way he is present in the body, all of them are same. We should be able to have the capacity to visualize all understandings and see that oneness in them. This effort is called spiritual study adhyanam. And really, we are able to comprehend all that. We are at a very, very beautiful higher level. So, Puraswami is inside the Pura. Anna? He is none, he is beyond then other than super to all the Puravasi as well as Purapalaka. Swami ho gaya. Then Parena ho gaya. Then all of that what they do is for the sake of Swami, for the sake of Raja, therefore he is become Swami. And in his supervision, only they all do. Therefore he has become Adhishtata. Then people who are doing Kruta and Akruta there, he only has a Sakshi there. And by being a Sakshi itself, he is a Bhokta. The Raja in a kingdom. In the same way, these are the 4 plus 3 things we have to remember. First, Maya, Paramatma entered. Second, Para, he is beyond all of them. Third, Swaminaha, they all do for himself. 4, Adhishtata, in his presence they happen but they don't influence him. Fifth, for all the Kruta, Akruta, कर्म जो होता है वो कर्म का वो साक्षी है. सिक्स्थ, उस फल का भी साक्षी है. सेवंथ इज बाय बीइंग ए साक्षी ओनली ही इज ए भोक्ता. This is up to this, there is no bandhanam. Being a sakshi itself is bhokta, there is no bandhanam. But sakshi bhav se नीचे उतर कर, when he identifies with the upadhis and upadhi modification, then he don't never remains as sakshi rupa bhokta. He becomes real bhokta. What is the real bhokta there? Whatever is happening to the upadhi, he takes as himself, as if it is happening to himself. Then he is called as jiva samsara. So up to this, becoming Sakshi Rupa Bhokta is Ishvara Srushti. There is no samsara in that. But when the freedom is given, instead of remaining as Sakshi and enjoying it, when we start involving in it with Ahanta Mamata, then we become samsari. And how it happens, this topic is dealt by Bhagavan Rama in today's class evening. Yesterday we saw on this pure Paramatma with these Lakshanas, Ahankara is first Adhyaropa, Adhyasa. Then this Ahankara gets identified with the Buddhi. Buddhi has got all these vrittis. Those vrittis of the Buddhi, with that, this first Adhyasita, Ahankara gets identified. And all of that is superimposed on the pure self. Evening class. देखो भागवत में, रामायण में, Yoga Darshan, Upanishad, all of them are trying to educate us regarding how the whole phenomenon is happening. By understanding it, how we have to know the position of every one of them along that, which is delusionary or mithya, which is actual reality. And all these are intellectual prakriyas and techniques to removing the wrong notions in us right from the vasana and ajnana stand up to, from that level up to the totally involving in the world with so much of desires. ये सारा जो delusion है उसको निकालने के लिए सारा स्टडी प्रक्रिया, all what we are doing, the undoing of the unwanted thing which was done by us. Then when the undoing is done of the unwanted, then the self remains in its pristine glory. That is called moksha. Okay. Tasmat maya parena swamina adhishtatra kruta akruta phala sakshi bhutena bhoktra bhavitavyam. So this pura has to be by with me. Who has got all these things to do? To do means this is how I am as a swami. Pura seva rajna. तो राजा होना चाहिए वहां, है ना, जो अधिष्ठाता है, जो स्वामी है, जो क्या कहते हैं कृतकृत फल साक्षी है, और जो भोक्ता है. तो मेरे बिना तो कैसा होएगा वो, और मैं जाकर क्या करूं, ये वाली चीजें. सो मया परेण स्वामिना अधिष्ठात्रा कृत अकृत फल साक्षी भूतेन भोक्त्रा मया सह भवितव्यम पुरा. So with me should be this, the assemblage of these two things of karya karana. One point is explained. What is it? Ki why the Swami has to enter. Without him, these karya karana sanghata cannot work. Like without the Raja, it cannot. When the Raja is there, what is his role are these things. His role as a self. The unbound liberated self. Okay. Now the another reasoning is given, a very very interesting one which we have seen in other Upanishads frequently. कि क्या है वो, यदि नाम एतत् संहत कार्यस्य परार्थत्वं परार्थिनं मां चेतनमन्तरेण भवेत् पुरपौर कार्यम् इव तत्स्वामिनम् अथ कोहम किम स्वरूपः कस्य वा स्वामी. Again, no, these are all sanghata, assembly of different things. Then the assembly of different things, be attentive, is not for any of those individual things, nor for the total assemblage, for someone other than these two. Very, very good analysis it is. Very good discussion. And like a cell phone you take, it has got so many parts in it, components, संघात, एक एक अलग अलग वस्तु, एक एक का काम अलग है, नाम अलग है, रूप अलग है. Now all of them put together is cell phone. Now is any of the assembled parts are there in the phone for their own sake, or are they all of them are for put together for the sake of cell phone? No, both the parts, sanghata, that way vesti, individual aspects, and the whole cell phone called sanghata, both are for somebody other than the phone and the parts, that is you and me, a living being. Another example we gave yesterday, the doors, windows, pillars, walls, etc. of the house are neither for themselves, doors are for not doors' sake, walls are not for walls' sake, pillars are not for pillars' sake, nor they are there for the sake of the house, which is the assemblage of all of them. Then for whom they are? The whole thing, the individuals and assemblies, for the householder, the one who lives in that house. Oh, unke liye ho. That's why nobody says in that haunted house या जो भी कहते हो, धीरे धीरे पूरा छत गिर जाएगा, दीवार गिर जाते हैं, पिलर भी गिर जाता है, और कोई है नहीं उसको देखने को. That is haunted by the devils. They say राक्षस बोलते हैं वहाँ, कि कोई जाता नहीं डिस्टर्ब करने को. Anyway, so is it clear now? First thing is what? Without me, their work is nirarthaka, like without Swami, for whom they are doing all these stuti adi, bali stuti adi. Therefore, Swami का होना चाहिए. Second, When the Swami enters, how he is, they are said. Maya parena Swamina adhishtatra, then kruta akruta phala sakshi bhutena moktra. Then after that, the other point स्वामी के लिए होना चाहिए वो वाला एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं कि द कार्य करण संघात anywhere it is not for any of the karanas there or the karya or the assembly of some independent parts is not for the independent parts or the assembled thing, they are for someone else, and that is me. That is what it is. यदि नाम एतत् संहत कार्यस्य परार्थत्वम, बिकॉज संहत का हमेशा परार्थ हो जाता है, परार्थ दूसरों के लिए. So pararthinam mam, I the pararthi for whose sake this assembly is there, chetanam who is pure consciousness, antarena, without me, bhavet puri karyam iva tat swaminam. It will become a puri without the swami, which is not right. Therefore, I have to enter. Ata koham. Therefore, who am I? Kim swarupaha. Of what form I am, Kasya va Swami, of whom I am the Swami. This is already said. Now Bhashyakara will explain in the next last paragraph. कि, as we said already, all of them are functioning only to reveal to us the presence of Paramatma. Other than that, whole world with all its maya, trigunas, variety of creation has no purpose. If this main purpose is missed and any other purpose हम ढूंढते हैं, because of the freedom given, because of the powers given, that we create samsara. लाइक like बच्चों को चाबी देकर चले गए, फ्रीडम दिया है, पावर दे दिया, तो वो देर देर धूम धड़ाका करके, they eat everything in the fridge, they spoil the whole house, the whole day they are watching TV and wasting time. When the power and freedom are given. Therefore, when the power and freedom is taken, then the falling down to the jiva level happens by identifying with all these doings. But they all are done only for the revelation of the self, means in and through their happenings, the presence of self alone is recognized, then we are mukta. So creation is not problem, entering of devatas indriya not problem, Paramatma entering is not problem, Paramatma supervising, visualizing everything also is not problem. Problem comes when the Paramatma reduces himself to Jiva Bhava by relating with all that happening in an isolated individual purpose or manner. If you avoid that, we are mukta. You understood? It's a very highest level. कल परसों हमने दूसरे क्लास में भी देखा था. तो उपाधि तादात्म्य अहंकार इस संसारी उपाधि तादात्म्य नहीं है. फंक्शनल वर्क इज गोइंग ऑन बट नो कर्ता भोक्ता. देयर इज नो बंधन ओनली दिस. Actually, the life is expressing through all faculties. The Paramatma, that's it. Where am I there? But I say I am there and I am other than Paramatma, and I identify with this Upadhi and the modification of Upadhi, dependence of the Upadhi, I take it on myself and I suffer. All this is delusion. Out of the ignorance. Ignorance about what? The nature of this. Nature of self is one, the intellectual understanding which we are trying to do now. Second, on the seat of meditation, that we have to realize. When this nature, the self is realized, then in the light of that experience, we see there is no jiva anytime possible. Only the Paramatma in his presence, his own Prakriti, playing the play. With his Sankalpa Shakti, without himself becoming a samsari there. And when he himself gets tired of bored of it, he says withdrawn. राजा को बुलाते हैं, सारे डांस वाले गाने वाले आकर करते रहते हैं. मगर डॉक्टर जब राजा कहते हो गया बस, I'm tired, I'm going, they all pack up and go. That's how I, the self, as Raja, I should not fall to the level of the जीवा by identifying with the things. वो आइडेंटिफिकेशन को डिसआइडेंटिफाई करना है. सो मैं साक्षी हूँ, मेरे प्रेजेंस में होता है, उस होने का मेरे से कोई लेना देना नहीं. If these things we realize through all sadhanas, we are mukta. And it's the self. Self का nature वही है. Self is the pure conscious awareness. In the awareness of whom all faculties are functioning. When they are functioning, awareness is not touched at all. That awareness is even now there. With that, I have to identify. That's the moksha. Beautiful topic. Tomorrow, this last para we see of this shloka. Then, where from we enter? Sinamanam Vidarya. Oh, wala topic. Om, 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 Om. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramabhyo Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanam Astu. Yes, friends. Thank you. Simple but very beautiful and complete is this Aitareya Upanishad. Position of everything is kept so clearly in front of us. Having this knowledge gained, detach from the binding and get identified with the liberated self. Continue tomorrow.